Legacy and its tradition. And I want to start off by telling you a simple story that happened on the 17th of September, 1787. And on that day was the signing of the United States Constitution. And upon exiting the Constitution Hall, Benjamin Franklin was met by a woman by the name of Mrs. Powell. She was a Philadelphia socialite, well known in political circles. She walked up to Mr. Franklin and she asked him this very simple question. She said, "Well, doctor, what is it that we have? A republic or a monarchy?" And Franklin replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." 227 years ago, that was the challenge that was given to us as the United States of America. 238 years ago, we know about the Declaration of Independence. We know about those 56 men who pledged their lives, they pledged their fortunes, and they pledged their sacred honor. The reason why I am able to stand here before you today is the first word of legacy. Having been born to parents, my father was born in South Alabama in 1920, Ozark, Alabama. He got smart. He jumped the Chattahoochee River. He grew up down in South Georgia, Randolph County, Cuthbert, Georgia, just south of Columbus. My mother was born in 1931 in Fort Valley, Georgia. Grew up in Camilla, Georgia. If you know the area, it's just south of Albany, Georgia. Not too far away from Tallahassee. But if you can understand what it meant to be black and born in those times and growing up in the South, it weren't easy. But yet my parents understood the challenge that Benjamin Franklin gave, the challenge to make sure that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness continued on and was passed on to their children. And see, that is why I had a father much the same as Arnie. And that's why it's so great when I see you. Because my father served in World War II in the European Theater of Operations. He served in North Africa. He continued on into Sicily and then up into mainland Italy. My mother served 25 years civilian service with the United States Marine Corps 6th Marine District Headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. That's the legacy that they passed on. A legacy that first talked about how great it is to serve this nation in uniform, to commit to something that is greater than you, to be willing to sacrifice as those men did with their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. It was never in our household about complaining about America, because my parents always believed that America was the greatest nation that the world had ever known. And they knew one simple thing, that all the opportunities that are afforded here in the United States of America are unique, unlike anywhere else. And I can tell you, I've been to 13 different countries and 3 different combat zones. There is no way that the story of Allen West can happen anywhere except for the United States of America. When I would go up to visit my mother at the 6th Marine Corps District Headquarters, and I would see these incredible, impeccable, strong, broad-shouldered men called United States Marines. And to listen to them and to talk to them and to understand about these 2 words called Semper Fidelis and what they meant. Always faithful. Faithful to what? Faithful to the flag that Arnie talked about. Faithful to this constitutional republic. Faithful to the founding principles and values of this nation. Faithful to be willing to stand up and fight for a country when sometimes your own countrymen do not love you. And to know and to have an older brother who was the second in our family, second generation, to serve in the uniform of the United States military as a Marine at Quezon, Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, 26 Marines. And to be sitting there watching on the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite, praying every night, because I knew my brother was at that place called Quezon, and Quezon was being shelled. And the relief to find out that my brother did make it out safely. And tonight, there's a man here that was part of the rescue column of the 1st Cavalry Division in Vietnam that rescued my brother there at Quezon. That's what legacy is, young people. And that's what makes us unique, because of the stories, because of the history, because of the experiences that we have, because of those fundamental values that we pass on from generation to generation. And so there it was, my turn to step up. And when I went into high school, it was very simple for me. In my sophomore year of high school, I first went right in to the high school ROTC program. That's why I so believe in the ROTC programs in high school. I still remember my commanders from that time. Lieutenant Colonel Gus Pagonis, Major Heredia, Master Sergeant Buchanan, Sergeant First Class McMichael. All Korea and Vietnam War veterans. And the legacy that they taught to me about